The Transition Monitoring Group TMG has described the results of the Bayelsa supplementary elections, which was won by the incumbent governor of the state, Sarike Dixon, as inconclusive. Chairman of the group, Ibrahim Ziru Kalahi, said observers' reports show a high level of ballot box snatching, violence and intimidation of voters during the exercise. The chairman also expressed his displeasure at the conduct of some security personnel during the process of the election.
However, TMG observers again reported high levels of violence, harassment, and intimidation at the polling units on January 9, 2015, which impeded significant numbers of observers from observing the process. In addition, instances of snatching ballot boxes, damaging election materials, and stealing ballot papers prevented vote counting and the announcement of results from taking place at many of the polling units observed in southern Niger. TMG deems it that these incidents were of sufficient gravity to call into question the overall credibility of the election process and the legitimacy of the results declared. TMG's observation effort on January 9, 2016 supplementary election highlights the following. Although INEC's decision to merge the accreditation and voting process is in itself a step forward, a step towards international best practice, the timing of the decision, which resulted in a change of the electoral procedures 48 hours before the opening of the polls, did not allow enough time for officials to get acquainted with the new procedure. TMG noted high levels of violence at many of the observed polling units. Widespread instances of ballot box snatching, damage of ballots, and stealing of ballot papers hindered the counting and announcement of results at polling units in many polling units in southern Niger. Stealing of ballot papers and ballot snatching and ballot box snatching are both acts of electoral fraud, characteristics of the early days of Nigeria's return to democratic rule, and were especially prevalent in the 2007 electoral cycle. TMG strongly condemns this deeply flawed electoral trend and calls on all stakeholders to do everything legally possible to avoid returning Nigeria to the experiences of the 2007 elections. The high level of harassment and intimidation meted out to our observers made it impossible for TMG observers to fully observe elections in Ekeremo, Nembe, and Southern Ijaw local government areas. The quick count recorded instances where observers were beaten, with their observation checklists snatched and destroyed. In many communities in southern Ijaw, observers were prevented from observing. High levels of violence, harassment, and intimidation also affected the participation of voters. Such failures on the part of political parties, INEC, security agencies to adequately protect the voting rights of citizens on election day risk leading to political apathy and could ultimately undermine trust in the electoral process. Given the number of critical incidents recorded and the inability of TMG observers to access some polling units, TMG contends that a credible election did not take place and that this should call into question the legitimacy of the overall outcome of Bayelsa State gubernatorial election.